Carlos Lehder, a notorious drug lord, co-founded the Medellín Cartel alongside Pablo Escobar, building a massive cocaine empire that would forever change the landscape of the drug trade. This Colombian cartel, infamous for its brutality and vast drug trafficking operations, flooded the United States with cocaine throughout the 1970s and 80s, creating a wave of addiction and violence that swept across the nation. Lehder, often described as eccentric and driven by a dangerous ideology, played a pivotal role in the cartel's rise to power. His charisma and ruthless tactics made him both a feared and respected figure within the criminal underworld. His story is a chilling reminder of the devastating impact of the drug trade and the seductive allure of power. The Medellín cartel's operations led to countless deaths and widespread corruption, affecting not just Colombia, but the entire world. Lehder's journey from a small-town Colombian boy to a notorious criminal mastermind is a twisted tale of ambition and ruthlessness. His early years were marked by a desire to escape poverty and achieve greatness no matter the cost. His early life and the circumstances that led him down a path of crime are crucial to understanding the man who would become a key figure in the global cocaine trade. Lehder's transformation from an ordinary youth to a powerful drug lord is a testament to the dangerous allure of wealth and power. Lehder's story is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the destructive power of greed and the human capacity for evil. It serves as a powerful example of how one man's ambition can lead to widespread suffering and chaos. Carlos Lehder was born in 1949 in Armenia, Colombia, a place that would shape his early years and influence his future ambitions. A small city nestled in the Andes Mountains, Armenia was a picturesque yet modest town. It was a far cry from the world of wealth and power he would come to inhabit, a world that seemed almost unreachable from his humble beginnings. His father, a German immigrant, and his Colombian mother provided a comfortable upbringing, instilling in him a blend of cultural values and a sense of identity. But young Carlos craved more than just comfort. He yearned for excitement, adventure, and a life that went beyond the familiar streets of his hometown. He yearned for a life beyond the confines of his hometown, dreaming of opportunities that lay far beyond the horizon. Lehder's early life was marked by a growing fascination with wealth and power, a fascination that would drive him to explore various avenues to achieve his goals. He saw the stark inequality in Colombian society and became determined to rise above his station, to break free from the limitations imposed by his environment. He developed a reputation for being ambitious and cunning, always looking for ways to get ahead, whether through legitimate means or otherwise. These traits, while initially appearing unremarkable, would later serve him well in the cutthroat world of drug trafficking, where every advantage could mean the difference between success and failure. Lehder's ambitions soon outgrew the limited opportunities of his hometown. He moved to the United States in his early 20s, drawn by the promise of the American dream. However, instead of pursuing legitimate opportunities, Lehder fell into a life of crime. He began smuggling marijuana, quickly discovering a talent for evading law enforcement and maximizing profits. His early ventures into the world of smuggling were successful. They provided him with the capital and connections he needed to expand his operations. Lehder was no ordinary criminal. He possessed a sharp intellect and a keen understanding of logistics. These qualities would prove invaluable as he transitioned from small-time smuggling to becoming a major player in the international drug trade. Lehder saw the growing demand for cocaine in the United States. He recognized the potential profits far exceeded those of marijuana. He returned to Colombia and joined forces with other ambitious criminals, including a rising star in the underworld, Pablo Escobar. Together, they would form the notorious Medellín Cartel. The cartel's strategy was simple but effective: flood the United States with as much cocaine as possible. Lehder, with his experience in smuggling and his understanding of the American market, played a crucial role in establishing the cartel's distribution network. He bribed officials, made deals with corrupt politicians, and used violence to eliminate competition. Section 5. The Führer's Fanatic. What set Lehder apart from other cartel leaders was his ideology, a unique and dangerous blend of criminal ambition and political fanaticism. He was a fervent admirer of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime, often drawing inspiration from their propaganda and methods. Lehder's admiration for Hitler wasn't merely an eccentric quirk, it was a core part of his worldview, deeply influencing his actions and decisions. He saw himself as a revolutionary, a visionary who would create a new order based on his twisted interpretation of Nazi ideology, believing he could reshape society. He dreamed of establishing a Nazi utopia, a haven for the Aryan race, funded by his cocaine profits. This vision was not just a fantasy, but a driving force behind his criminal empire. This bizarre and disturbing ambition set him apart from other cartel leaders who were primarily motivated by greed and power. Lehder's goals were ideological, making him even more dangerous. Lehder's ideology would ultimately contribute to his downfall, making him a target not only of law enforcement, but also of rival drug lords who found his beliefs repugnant and threatening to their own operations. His fanaticism isolated him, creating enemies on all sides. Section 6. A Kingdom for a Horse. In pursuit of his twisted vision, Lehder purchased a private island in the Bahamas, Norman's Cay. This island, once a tranquil paradise, became Lehder's personal fiefdom. He transformed it into a heavily fortified drug trafficking hub, complete with an airstrip, radar systems, and armed guards. Norman's Cay became a symbol of Lehder's wealth and power. He hosted lavish parties, entertained celebrities, and flaunted his wealth with impunity. The island was a testament to his success in the drug trade, but it also made him a highly visible target. The more brazen Lehder became, the more attention he attracted from law enforcement agencies determined to bring him down. Section 7. The walls close in. However, Lehder's empire was built on a foundation of violence and corruption. His increasingly erratic behavior and his outspoken admiration for Hitler alienated his allies and made him a liability. The Colombian government, under pressure from the United States, launched a crackdown on the cartel. The walls were closing in. Law enforcement agencies on both sides of the border were working tirelessly to dismantle the Medellín Cartel. They infiltrated the cartel's ranks, intercepted shipments, and gathered evidence. Lehder's days of operating with impunity were numbered. His dream of a Nazi utopia was crumbling around him. In 1987, Colombian authorities, acting on a tip-off, finally captured Lehder at his ranch. He had been betrayed by his former allies in the cartel. They saw him as a liability, a loose cannon who was attracting too much unwanted attention. His capture marked a turning point in the fight against the Medellín Cartel. Lehder's arrest sent shockwaves through the underworld. The man who had seemed untouchable was now in custody, facing a future behind bars. His capture was a major victory for law enforcement agencies and a significant blow to the cartel's operations. It also served as a stark reminder that even the most powerful criminals are not above the law. He was extradited to the United States, where he faced charges of drug trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy. The evidence against him was overwhelming. Prosecutors presented a mountain of evidence detailing Lehder's involvement in the drug trade. They presented witnesses' financial records and intercepted communications that painted a damning picture of his criminal activities. The trial was a media sensation. The world watched as the man who had once seemed invincible faced justice. Lehder, true to form, remained defiant throughout the proceedings. He maintained his innocence, claiming he was a political prisoner, a victim of persecution for his beliefs. But his protests fell on deaf ears. The jury found Lehder guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge, in handing down the sentence, made it clear that Lehder's crimes had caused immeasurable harm. They had fueled addiction, violence, and suffering on an unimaginable scale. Today, Carlos Lehder remains incarcerated in a federal prison in the United States. His once vast fortune has been seized. His dream of a Nazi utopia lies in ruins. His story serves as a potent reminder of the seductive allure of power, the corrosive nature of greed, and the devastating consequences of the drug trade. Carlos Lehder's story is a cautionary tale. It is a story about the allure of power, the seductive nature of greed, and the devastating consequences of the drug trade. Lehder's rise and fall serve as a stark reminder that the pursuit of wealth and power, when divorced from morality and respect for the law, can lead to a dark and destructive path. His legacy is one of infamy. He will be remembered as a ruthless criminal who profited from the suffering of others. But his story also serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of justice. Even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, law enforcement agencies and individuals dedicated to upholding the rule of law can prevail.